Late Night. I am the Demon, Anthony Haley. We're here with Sean Caesar, as I know him, Tungz Twisted, but not the web designer and graphic designer and director and photographer that he is today, but I remember him as the MC producer from way back when I was 15.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of shooting the shit before we started here. I gotta say, you did a track with a good friend of mine years ago, actually his older brother. You guys did a track called The Realness, which I wish I had a CD player. My CD drive don't work.
Are you talking about, Get Real to This?
Get Real to This. Yes, man. Yes. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So that was like me and his younger brother. We're the same age, right?
Yeah.
And we were like 15, I think, at the time, or maybe even a couple years younger. And that, like, we were like, who's Tungz? Who's this guy, man? It's kind of, it's fun for me now to be sitting here talking with you, and I want to ask, like, how did you get started in hip hop here in Southern Ontario and Hamilton?
I honestly don't even. I've been rapping since I could rap. Like, I don't know, like, you could say like 13, 14. Like,
Yeah.
this is like even back to like high school when I'd be like passing like mixtapes in the hallways, and like, man, it seems like going off on a tangent, but we had like a little 4-track recorder to like a little like tape deck.
Yeah.
And so we would record diss tracks over instrumentals, so have the instrumental playing in the room while recording, and then bring it to school the next day and put the headphones on your ears and be like, yeah, hold that, you know what I mean? So like starting like an online website like Tungz Twisted Online or something like that, where people could actually just go and like write their little raps, like, paragraphs. So people started battling each other and stuff, and it was just fun. It was something to do. I still like writing now. Like a lot of the stuff that I write or that I post has some type of poetry underneath it, because it just kind of comes to me. But
yeah, it seems like definitely hip hop has still stayed a main facet of a part of your life.
Very much so, still relevant, man.
Yeah, and tungztwisted.net. That's that was some of my first bars were getting posted on that. Me and Stealth Elements, actually, we first met through tungztwisted.net. We were battling each other.
Really?
We beefed each other hard.
Are you serious?
now we're working on shows together. Like,
that's crazy. That's
like, years
crazy.
later,
That's
like,
crazy.
That was really the thing that connected, at least for the East End of us, like MCs, like coming from that time.
Yeah.
That connected a lot of us together.
Yeah, not even just the East End. I mean, we had people in there from Toronto, like as far as Scarborough, you know what I mean, that were coming out. Like, I remember, I don't even know if you remember this. I was talking to somebody the other day about like a show that was done like out in Grimsby. Like, it was like in a gym or something like that.
No.
Man, we had a lot of rappers that were on message boards showing up for the first time to see a performance out of nowhere, and quite a few people showed up, and I was just like, shoot. So like, I kind of ran with. I wish I had actually kind of stuck with it to some degree.
Yeah.
But there was also like some like drama and everything that came with it too. So it's like, that for me was taking the love of the art out of it.
Yeah.
That's why my art has transitioned into everything else that it's inspired.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool. That's one of my favorite things doing these interviews with a lot of the guys is I'm trying to connect with a lot of the people that were a part of building a scene here for Hamilton.
Yeah.
And an actual like hip hop is cemented here in the city now because of a lot of you guys that took these initiatives to like tungztwisted.net, doing shows and connecting with other artists. And Leon down here with the Boom Spot and Eclipse and it's just all these things were happening.
Concrete Canvas and everything.
Canvas,
are you kidding me?
exactly, right? Like that guy.
He's a cornerstone, like a foundation of this community.
Easily.
No, I came along and just did what I loved doing in the time, and I guess people just kind of like ran with that wave, and I still like engaging with whatever creative community that I can. What I mean? It doesn't matter where it's at. It's just something that I realized that I've maybe been put on this planet to do.
That's
I don't know.
awesome,
like
man.
Some people are meant to balance books, do finances. I love creating, and I get great enjoyment from it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. When you shifted into the more the other creative side, when did that start? How did you get involved with that? What was the first thing you kind of started with? Was it graphic design?
Probably graphic design.
Yeah.
Doing like flyers like for people's shows, with like a hacked version of Photoshop. okay, like this is how it works, okay, and then after that I learned a bit more from that than doing CD covers and stuff like that. And then one thing just kind of transitioned naturally into the other. Like in doing graphic design for people's CD covers, they would like, I don't know, like we're dealing with like 48 megapixel fucking phones now. Like back in the day, people would send you a picture that they took with like their little Nokia like flip phone, and they'd be like, man, I need it on my CD cover. And so like explaining stuff like, you know, dots per inch, like DPI to them, it was much more difficult to do that than to just go and shoot. And I actually did like taking pictures, you know, like as a kid anyway. So I just started doing photography as well, and then you know, I feel like there were like different ceilings and like different like there's always something to learn, but then technology and stuff like that also advancing, you know, played a part in it.
Oh, for sure.
Some things naturally segued into the other, than video and
So talking more about the scene here on hip hop, having, you know, worked with people from the Toronto scene, do you feel that Hamilton's hip hop community has something different, has like a different vibe to it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that Hamilton's hip hop community, I don't know if it went unrecognized, but like for everything that it was and for everything that everybody was doing, I'm surprised that like a lot more careers didn't blow up. Like I like just really take a meteoric rise, you know what I mean? Like you had your Rashdon, or like, you know, your Indie Fiends, you know what I mean? Like, even Premium Plus, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like I don't understand why a lot of like these guys were consistently going at it, and in an era like we are at right now with technology, come on, if you were doing that right now and dropping like videos and stuff like that, you would have a following very quick.
For sure,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
Timing, I don't know. It's
timing is definitely a thing.
But Hamilton definitely has its own like organic following. Like it's not a lot of like the hype that maybe like Toronto will ride with, and Toronto's always trying to keep a trend, whereas Hamilton has almost been the lyricist den. You know what I mean?
I feel that for sure.
There's a lounger den, I don't know.
No, I feel that, man. That's kind of, you know, my point to this series, and looking at the hip hop portrait series. When I first did that, I did one about 10 years ago as my kind of introduction into the scene, and my appreciation to the amount of talent that we had here going back 10 years ago, right? And like all those, like High Cats even, and all those guys,
of course.
and it just kind of it's always blown my mind that we've, you know, like you're saying, we never had that kind of momentum of blow up of somebody, even though we have the talent.
And I'm saying like it's not implausible. Like the community is here, and like you just said, the talent is here, and there's other singers that we haven't even mentioned. You know what I mean? Like there's talent that's here. Even Obi O'Brien, like he's from West End, like that was like the closest to like Hamilton like being on the map in any sort of like international regard. You know what I mean? But and maybe like I'm sure there are others when you talk about maybe like the Arkells, or there's something, you know what I mean? But I'm saying
on
like
the,
in
on
terms
the other
of
music,
hip-hop,
but hip hop specifically, I mean, and it's hard too when we're in Canada, you know, we're already always under a shadow of
But
Toronto.
I was gonna say that we always thought that was our limitation, but I think that has been our only unfortunate like reservation from going and getting it. Like we've been like, oh well, you know what, like no, like we're only Hamilton, or you know what I mean, like we're like in the shadow of Toronto. Then why is it that when the Labor Day Classic happens and the Hamilton is facing Toronto, that everybody, like there's a lot of Hamilton pride there, you can see it, like outside of hip hop, like there's a Hamilton pride here that is so much more raw and rugged than Toronto.
Exactly.
And I mean, you got to expect that though in Toronto, with as much flash and glitz and glam as it is, that like there's a lot of followers that will just flock to some place like Toronto, whereas Hamilton, there's a lot of just, it's very blue collar-ish type of.
And that's what a lot of guys have mentioned too, is that, you know,
real raw,
we've got
Hamilton.
that raw that blue collar, you know, DIY kind of approach to hip hop, that it's just kind of like, there's not the glitz. It's just, you know, you're down to earth. People are here doing their thing, and that definitely resonates in not just the hip hop too. It's all of the music that comes out of here. I mean, even like you were mentioning, Arkells, they keep that kind of that real vibe with their music, and it's nice to see that Hamilton artists still representing Hamilton, because that's what, like you're saying, that Hamilton pride. If we get an artist that manages to get to that level, and they're still, representing the city, doing for the city, then we're behind. Like, everybody's behind. If you don't listen to the music, I love them. Like,
And you know what? A lot of people have been. I've seen that with Julius Wilson. You know what I mean? He's, I would say, like, the only one that has been like really having a team behind him to like push and like, put some fire under his name. And that's fantastic. I wish that there was like so much more of Hamilton that was also on that train. You know, because we have so much more to gain from that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a big thing. Is trying to get the city outside of just the community itself of artists, but getting the rest of the community of the city to get behind somebody would probably help the scene a lot more.
Yeah. It's like kind of, because it's always kind of been the underdog. You know what I mean? So I think that there's a lot that people. Hamilton, like, also being that blue collar city, has a lot of people like born into or raised in just underprivileged situations where they feel that, like, I don't know, maybe to account for that disparity that that they have to show out, you know what I mean, or that they have to put on, and they have to make sure that they rep themselves to the fullest, right? So they'll do that with pride and make sure that that's definitely something.
Everybody definitely has that kind of approach and feel of their music, I think, in this city. Yeah. I really appreciate you coming and doing this with me. This has been a blast. If there's any like promotional stuff or where people can reach you, what you got going on right now that you want to...
If you want to reach me, or you just want to read some beautiful poetry and see some awesome, also dope imagery, you can follow me at Tungz Twisted. That's just me everywhere. It's Tungz Twisted. Like, I've just kept it.
Yeah.
I tried to change that name over